mentioned a lot of negative things about Finger, asking me if this is true or that's true about Bill Finger. One, that he was a great womanizer. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me anyway. Number two, that he was always late with his work, and his deadlines were never on time. That he drank a lot. He was a carouser, not the nicest guy. I knew nothing like that about him at all. And I knew a lot of people in the business, even at that time. Alfred Bester did some of my work later on, before his TV and
science fiction,
radio, science fiction, and motion picture work that he's done. So he did some of that too. But
Solomon Grundy,
yeah,
he created Solomon Grundy, right?
I think so.
Right.
But going back, I had created not an oath, but an incantation, and I felt that that would be the way we'd go from the incantation to the lantern, as to how Alan Scott, dressed as the hero, would then go on to do all the good things he does. So it seemed to me that if he could do that sort of thing, an incantation was always necessary. But Bill Finger is the one, well, in part, Sheldon Mayer was greatly responsible for shaving it, honing it into an oath. And Bester, plus a few others, put it into poetry. So the initial one, in Darkest Day and so on, was between mine, Bill Finger, and Mayer.
Okay. I know, because I asked Alfred Bester if he did the oath, because everybody thinks he did, and he was, very emphatic about it. He said, never, 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 never. And he said later on he tried to get him to take it out, but they wouldn't do it like that. So.
Take out the oath?
Yes.
Is that what he said?
Right.
Mayer wouldn't.
No,
well,
I know.
Fans of today love it.
Oh, yeah.
And that seems to be a very important part.
And they come over and recite it for us
Right.
all the time.
And Brightest Day and
And
Blackest
it's
Night.
amazing how many people have it down pat.
They come to me and tell me.
Okay. So exactly how did Doiby come about? Is it you just had to have somebody to talk to, or what? Green Lantern did.
No, that was between Mayer and Finger.
Okay.
Oh, well, the idea was we were talking about what would be the best way to bring up and use another character that Green Lantern can play off of.
Right.
Maybe a little humor, too.
Wouldn't you say at that time New York was famous for its cabbies?
Yeah. Well, it still is. Right.
It still is, but now
Yeah.
they're not as friendly as Doiby Dickles was.
Right.
Doiby was a friend of everybody's.
Right.
Well, he was a character that I think it was more between Bill Finger and drew him, but between Bill Finger and Mayer.
Right. Well, everybody remembers. Yeah, right. Everybody
Anything
remembers
else?
Doiby on that character.
Right. Any questions that anyone would have?
Hang on
As
while I
time
turn
is
over the
going
tape
along?
and back that.
As we turn the tape over,
Because that's why I was sitting around here and going
brightest,
like this. Right.
time of day.
Okay. Oh,
Darkest
okay.
night.
What? So, well, I was about. If you want to go ahead and field his, I was going to ask you. Go ahead.
Yes. How did you get involved back in comics, especially with All-Star Squadron and Secret Origins, Roy Thomas?
The one in 1984, Roy Thomas called him and asked
Oh, you
him to
mean
do it.
how to do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know Roy, and I knew the name only from motion
He
pictures.
called him.
And
So,
he called me, asked me if I'd want to do something. So he had gotten to know. Don't forget to come back.
Do the folks know how you came back to comics?
Not
Everyone thought he was gone, dead, or whatever. And nobody had heard of
I'm
him.
taking
till 5 o'clock.
And we found out,
taking a break.
familiar
Carrie
with
is talking.
Moondogs, Gary Calabono, worked on the same newspaper as Marty did. He was a space salesman, and Marty did the special covers for this paper before we moved from Chicago. And I read small print, and I saw Gary Calabono, comic book buff. So I said to Marty, you're going to the office to say so long to your manager, your bosses. your publisher. Why don't you look Gary up? So we called Gary up. Gary ran out. He told me that last year at the Diamond Seminar. Ran out, bought a tape recorder. He taped Marty for 4 hours. He was so excited. And last year when Marty got the Gem Award, Gary was standing and crying in the corner. He was so proud that he had brought him back to comics. And he said, you're coming to the Chicago Con, you're sitting at my table, we'll see how the fans reacted.
This was when, 82, 83?
Years, you're good at that.
Something.
And it was unreal, the reception we received. So here we are, 15 years later, 17 years later, still going strong.
If I had my way, we could do another couple of 3 hours, so long as I think Marty's voice could hold out, if it could hold out that long. But they're giving me the eye from that side of the room, and I think they want to uncourteously dump us out of here like that. So I think we're going to have to call it. But Martin and Carrie, I want to thank you very much for
Thank you
being
very
on
so
this
much.
one. And thanks very much for coming, folks.